Good morning. Good morning. It says we are being live streamed. I want to hit record. Happy. There we go. Recording in progress. Happy Monday. I want to see if I can get this on Facebook. When you tune in, say hello. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I am flying solo today. Megan is there we go. I can see me. Okay. Good morning. Good morning. I'm flying solo this morning because Megan and Scott and Tori. Tori's still on here, but they're preparing to go to Colombia in just 2 days. So as much as I love having Megan here to converse, I will do my very best to keep you engaged for the next few minutes. And I received a little bit of a download on what to share today in thinking, what should the message be here now? And so say hello when you're tuned in. I would love to see that you're here. I'm looking at my phone too. But today's a full moon. I wanted to share a little bit what's going on. It was just at Megan's yesterday. My mom and dad are in town to support for Megan and Scott being gone for 10 days. And got to have such amazing good time with the twins and Samson and Salem. And mom and dad were here over the weekend, getting to have a forest bath and rejuvenate and rest a little bit and enjoy the forest. So that's amazing. In other news, I'm going to go gray. That has been an interesting journey. I've been thinking about that for a year or more or so. And so I would love and support on that. And anybody who has done that already, just kind of some support on that. What worked best for you? How did you get through the grow out period, right? And I'm feeling completely called to have my natural hair color and be free of the constant trying to avoid the silver roots. I actually started going gray in my 30s, so I've been coloring my hair for a good long time. But enough of that. Let's talk about the silver and the moon. It is a full moon today, July 3rd. I just love the full moon out here in the forest. It is so big and so bright. When we go to bed, because there's no light pollution, you can just see the moon shadows, right? It is just so vibrantly light. I'll be putting out some water tonight to get moon charged. But what was coming in today, and I am trusting that more will come in talking about the full moon. And I know lots of people will be doing full moon ceremonies. And so I'll just jump into the fullness of the moon is that the moon is never not full, right? The moon is its whole being, and it is always full, whether we can see the moon in its entirety or not. It is always whole. It is always whole. And so when we go through the cycles of the moon waxing and waning and the dark of the moon, it very much represents the experience that we have as humans on this planet. Okay, we can appear to be less than full. We can appear to be less than full. We can even appear to be nothing. Like when we don't see the moon at all, it's a new moon, it's the dark of the moon. And to our physical eyes, we can't see it. And that goes very hand in hand. So just feel that. I can get in a hurry and start talking really fast. So just understand that the moon is always whole. that certain times of the month we can see its wholeness because the light of the sun reflects upon it. But even when the light of the sun is not reflecting upon it, it is still whole. So if we bring this home to who you are, is you are always whole. Even when you cannot witness your wholeness, you are always whole. And when we cannot witness ourselves, we have that unconscious aspect of ourselves, right? That's the darkness. That's the part of the moon that we can't see when it is not full, when it's not fully illuminated by the sun. There's the shadow part. And we too have those shadow parts. And I wanted to address, because I was taking in some inventory about what people thought about their shadow and what kind of misconceptions are out there. And there's actually a lot of misconceptions, and there's actually a lot of understanding, is that the shadow is just what we have hidden from ourselves, what we choose not to look at, choose not to acknowledge. But there's still so much fear around what that shadow is and what it means. So I want to bring a little bit into that, because it is just what is hidden, but there's a lot of fear around it. So I want to say some words and emanate some energy that hopefully dissolves some of that fear and misconception. So it's as if like there should be no shadow, that only light is good and dark is bad, and that shadow represents the badness. So that's the misconception I want to help dissolve and release, is that there is bad or good. The shadow is just another density of light. It's just another expression of light. And you may be able to hear my little dog snoring, just so you know, she's in here sleeping. I don't like to kick her out. She likes being in here with me. So the shadow is still light at a denser level. So it's very important to try just to allow yourself to dissolve and release this idea. Don't try to hold on to this idea that the shadow is bad. Like this, the shadow work is accessing a bad part of ourselves. So release that judgment and have radical approval for all aspects. So let's give an example. When bad things happen, right? So think of something that you may look at in your life that was bad. As an example, I will share an example that was over maybe 12 years ago. And my ex-husband was fighting me in court around child support. He wanted to pay less child support. And we were going through court on that. And like, I was so broke then. We were on food stamps. Our food stamps had been cut. It was like a bad experience, right? But even in the midst of that experience, I'm like, I know this is for me. But it was hard and it was bad. And who I came out, hello, Dee, so glad you're here. Hello, Mariana. So happy to have you here. I could look back at that and say that was a shadow time, that was a dark night of the soul. But what came of it was a new embodied sense of power and my capabilities in that experience. So we could look at that as a shadow. And even though it was a hard time, there was a lot of tears, there was a lot of fear, there was a lot of all of that stuff. When I look at it, that it came for me, it was an experience for me, it actually was a gift, right? It expanded me, it expanded my own power. And this is the same with any shadow aspect of ourselves, right? Like we could look at that experience as bad, but it was actually It was actually building who I am and revealing my power to me. That is the same with your own shadow aspect, right? That it's not bad. It actually, we can have multiple shadow aspects, and they all love you, and they are all for you, and they are all supporting you to be a grander, more authentic, aligned with your full power version of yourself. So there is no fear to be had around that shadow aspect. Hey, Christina, so glad you're here. Hello, Jana. So know that so many people like see this darkness, this shadow as bad and evil. And it is not bad and evil. It is just another way to help us embody the fullness of our divine power. In fact, that shadow aspect holds most of our divine power. And so when you access that shadow self, when you're like willing to go, okay, I'm going to see all parts of myself, especially that shadow, and see what she or he is bringing forth to me, you actually gain access to the power that shadow holds, which is immense power. It is divine power. So all that to say is that as we go into this full moon, the light of the moon, know that the light is not more important than the darkness. The darkness is required. And I could teach so much on this. And that is why I am offering Prelude to Making Light of Your Shadow free training. I did this a couple months ago, and I did a 1-hour training, and I decided to expand it to spread out over 3 days and do 75-minute training spread out over 3 days, so that you can really, really get in touch with the truth of your shadow and what it does for you, and how much your shadow loves you and how it has supported you, right? That there is no bad or evil aspect of you, and there is no bad or evil experience that we can actually have in our life. Every experience, even though we may look at it as ooh, that's bad, that's terrible, so sad, everything, every experience always brings a lighter experience. Yes, Jana, the yin to the yang. So next week, starting July 11th, so we'll go 11th, 12th, and 13th, I will be hosting a free masterclass, and it's interactive. You're going to get homework. You're going to identify a desire or a goal that you've had for some time that you haven't quite been able to manifest or achieve. And when you have a goal and you're not achieving it, it is because your shadow is not interested in the fulfillment of that goal at this point. And so through those 3 days, we will discover what that shadow is, and we will actually integrate that shadow over 3 days. So you'll definitely want to join. It's absolutely free. It will be recorded if you can't be there live, but I highly recommend that you be there live. Tori is putting the link in the comments below. It is going to be phenomenal, so phenomenal. It's going to be so much better. You know, day one, I'm going to take you through the understanding what your shadow is. And then you'll have homework. And then days 2 and 3, I will be coaching you through processes to really acknowledge what that shadow is about, what motivates that shadow. And then we will be integrating it so that you can be in the space of fully understanding that you are always being fulfilled. Just like that moon, it looks full. We see the full moon. It's like, oh, we see the whole moon. The moon is always whole. And we are always being fulfilled. Our desires are always being fulfilled. There is no such thing on this planet as deprivation. Oh, that is mind blown, right? And I'm going to help you not just know that concept, but to embody the truth that you are constantly being fulfilled, even though it appears that you are being deprived. And when you can flip the script on that, you become more embodied in your power and your ability to become fulfilled with your conscious desires. So I hope to see you all there. Let me know if you have any questions. Tori has put the link below for you to register. And I will absolutely adore seeing you there next week. Have an amazing full moon day today. Celebrate the fullness, bring in more of that which you want to desire, that which you do desire. Embody the emotions and the feelings of it already complete, and you will have it. All right, everyone. Bye for now. Mwah.